going on, guys? Welcome to another video where we talk about business and entrepreneurship and money, and probably where I'm way too transparent and I shouldn't talk about this stuff on camera. I should keep this to myself. I want to be open and I want to document my progress, and I want to show you what it's like to go from having like no subscribers to having like 61,000 in about a year. And so in this video we're gonna talk about money, revenue, and a specific source of revenue. And I get this question all the time. They're like, hey Josh, how much does YouTube pay you? What's your highest source of revenue? Like, what's the percentage that you get out of, like, you know, like how much did you sell out for that company? And it's fun to ask yourself that question. I know, because now I'm a YouTuber and I've kind of lived that experience a little bit, and I kind of wonder what other people are getting paid. Like you see these dudes like Unbox Therapy, right? Like he gets paid like 30 grand and he gets to keep a 10 grand product and does like a 3-minute video. Like, and he's got like, I don't know, millions of subs, right? And so when I see these other people doing sponsorships, I'm like, I know how many, I got 61,000 subs, and like, I know what I can get away with charging, but like, how much did they pay you, you know? Like, I wonder the same stuff. It's kind of a fun question, and so I want to be transparent with you guys and just show you what it's about, show you what it's like. We're gonna talk about how much money I've made from sponsorships and how sponsorships work on YouTube. So I'm not gonna make you wait till the end of the video to tell you how much money I've made. I don't wanna be that guy. I've made $15,267. That is a decent chunk of change for 30-second shoutouts or dedicated videos, and we'll go over what all that means and stuff. But what I'd like you to consider are a few things. Take 30% off the top for taxes, just right off. You don't get to touch that 30% off the top when you are a YouTuber. You are self-employed. Essentially, you're a contractor, and when you're a contractor, you get taxed twice. You get to pay the business tax and you get to pay the employee tax. When you work for a company, you only pay the employee tax. 7.6% comes out of your W-2, and the company pays the other half. Well, when you do it yourself, you get to pay both. Consider taxes, just take a lot off the top. Unless you business expense it and manipulate your money and do what rich people do to not have to pay taxes. You know what I mean? But anyways, number two, it wasn't a lump sum of money, all right? So like, there wasn't 15 grand in my bank account overnight, like just sitting there waiting for me. It was over like 8 months since I've been building this audience, building this brand. You know, it would have been cool, like, you know, pay off a bill or something, but that's not how it happened. Then number three, just being totally transparent, I have a pretty high cost of living. I live in downtown Salt Lake City. I live in this little rinky-dink house. It was the only thing I could afford at the time, but I needed a yard for my dogs because they were going insane with no backyard inside of an apartment. And I also bought this as an investment, like a real estate investment that I'll sell later. In addition to that, I also pay my parents rent, and I pay their utilities and I help them out. My dad hasn't been able to find a job. He's a mechanical engineer, but he's old and ageism is real in that niche. Long story short, I pay all my stuff and I pay all their stuff, and it's a decent chunk of change, but it all goes to bills most of the time. But, you know, I'm glad to help them, glad to do it, glad I can, you know, glad I can say that when I'm old and be like, you know, I'm glad I did it. I digress on that front. Linus Tech Tips Move Transition. This video is also sponsored. It's sponsored by MailerLite. If you don't know who MailerLite is an email marketing software where you can go in and you can create automations and campaigns for an email list. If you don't know what like an automation or campaign is, so go to my website, for example, go to grindreel.com, input your email, you'll get a coupon back sent to you that for 15% off for the shop. That's an automation, that's a campaign. Like, I set that up and that just happens automatically now. You can set up other automations. So I'm sure you guys have been shopping on Amazon or something, and you're about to check out, and then you cancel it right at the last second, and then you get another email like a day later, and they're like, hey, what about this? Like, you were considering buying, or like, hey, here's a 10% off for that thing that you were about to buy. Like, number one, why didn't they send you that? Like, when you get 10% off first time? And then number two, like, what? That's also an automation. That's what MailerLite helps you do. It helps you set up and manage your email list, and it helps you set up automations. If you haven't seen my other video where I talk about building an email list, go watch that video. You can make decent money by building an email list, and you can send products out, you can have affiliate links in it, and you can get sponsors. People will pay you to include a link to the sponsor in there. Go watch that video. Anyways, that's MailerLite. Thanks for sponsoring this video. Thanks for letting me talk about this subject. Thanks for keeping the lights on. I appreciate you guys. I just want to clarify a couple things. There's a difference between affiliates and sponsorships. Affiliates are like those links down in the description that you click, and if you sign up with them, I get a kickback. Sponsorships are totally different. You can think of sponsorships of like they pay you, you do the video, like that's it. You're just sponsored. Your most basic of basic sponsorships is typically a product. They send you a product, they don't pay you for the product, your payment is the product, and then you come to some sort of agreement, some sort of an arrangement, that you showcase on your channel in a certain way. An example of that would be this desk. So I was sent this desk by FlexiSpot, and they told me I could keep it, and I just had to make a video that showcased it. And so that video was one where I showcased, like, I redid my office and stuff. So my payment is this desk. That's an example. You get product sponsorships, and this can vary in many different ways. You'll get some products that are complete garbage and companies that are totally unrelated to what you're doing, and they'll try to just get you to showcase their product. The other day, I got an email for a pregnancy belt, and they're like, we really are huge fans of your channel, Josh. We love what you're doing for the community. We want you to showcase this pregnancy belt. And I'm like, what? Does that have to? No, stuff like that. So you'll get some spam kind of sponsorships, and it's like, do you take it? Do you take it for the lulz and you just make a meme video on it? Because I've thought about doing that. Just take like some unrelated stuff, agree to do the sponsorship, and be like, free shit from YouTube. You know, kind of make a funny video, but like, that seems kind of like pretentious. Sometimes it's like they're trying to take advantage of you just because they want to showcase their garbage product. I reject products that I don't like and that I don't want and that I'm not going to use. That's up to you though, right? How flexible are your morals? So that's like your bare bones basic sponsorship. They send you a product and they don't. That's it. That's your payment, and you review it and you get to keep it. And then you have a kind of a mixed form of that, like you're, you know, one level up. They send you the product and they pay you to review it. So you get the double whammy. You get to keep the product and they pay you. That's pretty self-explanatory. Now let's move on up to more common sponsorships here. You got these things called mentions, like I did just a second ago when I was talking about MailerLite. So that's a 30 to 45 second mention, and then you give your rate for it. You can negotiate to do that in the front of the video or in the middle or wherever. Like for MailerLite didn't actually tell me where they wanted me to do it. I think they wanted me to do an introduction, but I think in this particular case, in the middle of the video should be fine. Hopefully when I submit it to them for approval, they will approve. Thanks again, MailerLite, for sponsoring the video. And so then let's take it a little bit further. You have dedicated videos. And that's where you make an entire video dedicated to the company or the product or the service. And so an example of that would be Pramp. So those Pramp videos, the interview videos I did with the Facebook people that were preparing to go interview at Facebook and Google and all that, those were dedicated videos. It's whatever you negotiate behind the scenes, and then whatever you want to charge, that's up to you. Dedicated could mean 5 minutes, dedicated could mean 10 minutes. In my particular negotiations, I'm like, all right, a dedicated video for me qualifies as 10 plus minutes. And then that's, I charge my rate. So that's like the breakdown of sponsorships. I'm sure you guys are like, well, why don't you say how much you're getting paid for these sponsorships? Okay, well, I don't really know if I'm allowed to say how much I'm getting paid for sponsorships, and if I do, then other sponsorship companies out there are gonna use that against me. So I gotta think smart, you know? If I say how much I'm getting paid now, they're gonna be like, well, look, this is what you said you charge. So like, I should just lie, right? I just, bare minimum, I get paid $10,000 per 30-second shout out. Yep. So future sponsorship people watching the channel, that's what I want. No, but seriously, I don't actually know if I'm allowed to say, but I'll tell you this. I'll just give you some teaser then that falls in like the gray area where no one can get mad. The least I've ever taken for a sponsorship was like $70, and the most I've ever got for a sponsorship was $2,800. So I'm just gonna let you guys kind of figure that out, try to find the companies and stuff. I don't wanna name the companies, I don't know if I'm allowed to, and I don't want other companies in the future to use that against me. And I'm not gonna say how much I got paid in the subscriber range, but you can obviously guess the less subscribers you have and the less engagement and views you have, the less money you can charge. So now that I have 61,000, I can charge more. If I get more views, I can charge more. If I get more comments, likes, subscribes, whatever, that's why people ask for likes and subscribes. It's because you get engagement. You get to charge more money. Let's move on to the next section here. This is something that can be difficult. Just to say that you're a freelancer, right? And you want to set your price. You need to know your value, and you're always gonna get, it's the same thing, you're always gonna get bargained. It's like Pawn Stars. You walk into Pawn Stars and you ask for what it's worth, and they're like, oh, I'll give you a penny for it, right? Like, you could be selling your soul, the dude will give you like a toothpick in return. Like, that's what companies do too. So you have to know your value, you gotta stick to it. This is my strategy, but again, see, like, I don't wanna give away the strategy because then other companies watching the channel are gonna use it against me, but for the sake of the video, I will tell you, one of the strategies here. So the strategy is, even in freelancing, so this is for you guys out there, you pick a number above what you want and you fall back 3 times to an exact number that you require. And then sometimes you just get totally undercut and they don't want to pay you. That happens with some sponsors, and then it's like, you just take the money because if you were going to do the video on this subject anyways, there's stuff like that because they won't give you what you want, but you're going to do a video on the same topic, so like, might as well do it instead of stick it to them. Like, you got to make some decisions. There's another way to negotiate. You can negotiate the long term. You got relationships. You can do relationship negotiation, and that's where you charge less for the first couple videos and you show proof of engagement, proof in the pudding type deal, proof of results. Like, your videos do good, people click the links that they give you, and then you can charge more. And so I've had that happen a couple times too. You ask for a number, they're like, no, we just do like a special deal, these couple videos, and then we'll make an agreement, you know, later. Just we want to make sure that you prove that you're worth what you say that you're worth. You know, we'll do something more steady in the long term, which is kind of risky because number one, they might just jump ship and they might not do anything with you ever again, and they're just getting a deal on you, and they're just saying that to get you to do the video and so that they can pay you really cheap. Pramp kind of started off that way. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about them really, but like Pramp, like we started off on a lower, and videos did really good. I gave them a bunch of bonus content. I told them I was posting in all these extra places that they didn't require me to do. And, you know, I got to charge more in the next video, and they were okay with that. And so let's talk about this final section here. We have direct versus agency sponsorships. And so what direct sponsorships are when you got a company that just straight up sliding them DMs. It's just sliding them emails, girl, and they just hit you up. They're like, we got a product, we got a service, we want you to talk about it on your channel, how much you cost. You know, you work that out. I would say a majority of the time it's the other way around, and it's agencies. And agencies are like these middlemen. It's kind of like, you know, you have an agent in Hollywood, but they're these middlemen that go out and they find companies that are looking to advertise on influencers' pages, and they bring these companies back to you, and they bring you an offer, and you say yes or no. For example, this video right now is through an agency. So the agency that I'm working with went out and got MailerLite. MailerLite came back to me with an offer, and I was like, yeah, sounds good, I'll do it. The agency gets like a cut off the top. It kind of saves you time because you don't have to go out there and try to get these companies directly yourself, but if you use an agency, they take their cut. And you know, it depends on if you want to do the work or not, or if you have access to the same people that these agencies have access to. Like maybe they have direct email to like the marketing budget person, right? You probably don't have that as a creator. There's one other thing that I guess I forgot about that I want to mention here is like different ways to monetize your sponsorships. Sometimes you can do like a one-off type deal, and then based on performance, you can do another one. Sometimes you can do a package deal. I've done those before. I don't know if you guys remember the Monday.com series. That was a package deal. So I accepted, you agree to do 4 or 5 30-second shout outs, and that's it. That's the package deal. So it's the same thing with MailerLite. So MailerLite's a package deal. I do the shout outs, and then so I have 3 more shout outs to do. I try not to do it like back to back to back, right? Because no one likes to see this, like some dude shill about a company, but like MailerLite's a cool company, or I wouldn't have accepted the package. So long story short, that is how sponsorships work on YouTube. That's been my experience with it so far. You gotta play around with pricing and negotiation, and it's not a bad gig. You get to charge $1,000 for a 30-second shout out. I'm not saying that I have done that. I'm not saying I have not done that either, but it's, you know, would you say it's pretty ridiculous? It's pretty ridiculous. I feel pretty blessed, but you know, again, taxes and bills and stuff, so it's like I don't even get to see it. It's still cool though. It's still a cool way to make money. You like the company, and the company likes you. You know, there's no better words to say than let's make money together. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and I'll pick a giveaway winner for my resume and cover letter in the comments. See you in the next one.